Good evening, everyone. Once again, it is a great pleasure for me to introduce our today's resource person, Professor Manvendra Singh Pava, who is going to talk us about citations and referencing today. This is a topic in which we should all be deeply interested, since we all want to increase our citations. Dr. Manvendra Singh Pava is an alumnus of IIMA, is an eminent academician with rich experience of 21 years, which is rare blend of academia, industry, corporate consultancy, and research. His area of expertise is corporate finance and business laws. Besides his graduation, post-graduation, and PhD in commerce from Mohanlal Sukhadia University, Udaipur, he is professionally qualified as associate member of the Institute of Company Secretaries of India. He is also LLM MBA with gold medal. Dr. Pava has conducted and delivered more than 100 special courses and faculty development programs for a number of government and private institutions, including AICTE, ICSSR, and UGC-sponsored FDPs, UGC, HRDC refresher course, orientation programs throughout the country on research methodology, pedagogy, personal effectiveness, and work ethics, SPSS, and financial modeling. Dr. Pava has participated at numerous national and international conferences, chaired the sessions in India and abroad, and his 70 research papers are published in referred national and international journals, including Scopus, conference proceedings, and books. 6 PhD scholars have already been awarded PhD under his guidance, and 8 more are pursuing. And from last 6 years, Dr. Pava is working with Manipal University, Jaipur, and presently professor in school and business and commerce. So it's our privilege to have you, sir, Professor Pava, sir. I welcome you, sir, once again. We have heard you before also in our SPSS workshop, basic workshop, in which I think all over the participants from all over the India and abroad have participated in that workshop, and we were very blessed to participate in that. And today also we are waiting to hear you, sir. So welcome, sir. Over to you, sir. Dr. Pava, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Raviji. And yes, we have met before also, and there was one basic workshop in which the overwhelming response, as usual, Inspira receives from all India itself, was noted at that time too. And I hope from in this particular meeting, in this particular workshop also, some participants might have repeated their presence from the previous workshop, those who have attended the previous ones also. So once again, I thank you, and thanks to Professor S.S. Modi sir, thanks to Anil Mehta sir, who is presently Senior Vice President of Inspira and had been my colleague over there at Manipal University, Jaipur also. I was privileged to work with him and to take his guidance, and we have shared some platforms together. Together means where the teaching happened hand in hand when both of us together in the same class were on the same dais. And that was in HRDC Ajmer. And that was, and we just invented one innovative pedagogy of teaching where two people, those who can complement each other and take the things further, happened over there live in the HRDC, and people still remember that those things which we have conducted during that day. And I am very much glad, sir, that you are here with me on this platform also, along with Ravi Modi ji. And thank you, and thanks a lot for your presence, sir. And let me just now just start the our today's workshop itself, because so before you might have seen the trend that whenever we start all together, then I asked certain participants also to, to just introduce or do the things. Or so let us just start with one thing that because today's topic is effective citation and referencing. So anyone from you, if you can tell me what the citation is, because the workshop has to be interactive and there will be some hands-on also, because that, as that was requested by our SS Modi sir also, that there must be some hands-on work. So I have prepared some hands-on also, and now I have already asked Ravi ji to send you the link for the Mendeley's desktop. I think you might have downloaded Mendeley's desktop also, and the reference manager also. So no problem. Let us just start it. So before we start, let me ask you that what actually is citation? Anyone from you? What is citation? Yes, Raviji, please unmute those participants, those who have raised
I
their
have
hand.
already no. So I have already unmuted all. They can unmute themselves and they can say whatever they want.
That's excellent. And I have just now used one citing part today itself. Just before this, I have just asked you what the citation is. So anyone who can just tell me that what is citation? Yes. Yeah.
So when we give reference
Yeah.
of
Please tell
some,
your name first.
okay, hi, sorry.
Yeah.
My name is Vishakha,
And
and
Vishakaji, it will be good if you can come live with your video. Those who will be coming up. So please, with your video, if you can come, so it will be interactive.
correct.
Otherwise, I will feel as if I am just talking to a computer.
Okay, fine. I think, yeah, I'm
Thank you.
listening.
Yeah, Vishakaji, बताइए.
Hello, sir. So my name is Vishakha, and citation is when we are referring to any literature, and when we give the credit of from where we have taken the idea or the concept or the definition, and when we mention that this particular person has given this concept in this particular year, and other things, that is
Okay,
citation.
great. So citation is that. So what is referencing? Anyone else? Yeah, there is one more hand raised, I suppose. Yeah. Thank you, Vishakaji. Excellent.
Thank you, sir.
Anyone else? What is referencing then? Citation and referencing go hands in hand. Yeah.
Sir, citation is a way. I'm Niva from Delhi.
Okay. With your video on, please.
Sir, bandwidth problem will be there. I will not be audible then.
Okay, okay. I think a bandwidth problem. Fine. Anyways, no problem. Carry on.
Citation is the way we tell our readers that certain material in our work that I have taken is coming from other sources.
Okay. Okay.
It
Very
is
good. Very good.
that source when we are providing that is referencing.
Absolutely. So, what is difference between citation and referencing?
I think the reference is like all the details that we are giving regarding others' material. All details that we are providing is reference.
Okay.
And when we
Very
are
good.
telling the readers that this work has been taken from others' work, that is citation.
Great. Great. Very good. Anyone else? Anything else you want to share? Yeah, Manish.
Uh, yes, sir. So this is Manisha. Sir,
Yeah.
according to me, citation can be any source of information which we had taken for our study.
Okay.
We introduced we introduced that particular source of information that
Excellent.
might be known and unknown to the unknown from the sources. That can be
Unknown
citation.
from this. Okay. Fine. 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 So, citing is something which you have, which the credit giving. What just now Vishaka ji has told, and you have also told that if you have introduced something, then also you cite that particular thing. Very good. That's very nice of you. Very good. So let us just proceed further with this. I hope is there anyone else who want to share something about it? Yeah, come on. If someone is there who has who wants to, yeah, Vishakha, you want to say something more?
Yes,
Your hand is,
I just wanted to
yeah, yeah.
like share what I understand as the difference between citation and referencing.
Mhm.
So, citation is when we are sharing about the idea, the source of the idea, and referencing is a list. It compiles the whole, all the different literatures that we have referred.
Yes, 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 yes.
Citation is specific to the definition or the idea or the concept, and referencing is the list from where we have, the
Yeah.
other details about the papers or the studies that we have referred.
Excellent,
May I,
excellent.
may
It's
I
it's
share, sir?
it's a list. Yeah, yeah,
May I
Muzavi ji.
share?
Yeah, Muzavi, you want to say something?
Sir, I'm Gurpreet.
Yeah, Gurpreet. Oh, great. Yeah, madam.
Sir,
Stay.
sir, according to me, जो citation is the known sources. If you want to give a detail, known sources information in the your research, and referencing is that may be unknown, that may be book, that may be other, है ना, जो sources है आपके पास जो आप जिसको आप update कर रहे हो.
So, Gurpreet, I think you are from Madhya Pradesh,
No, sir, from Chandigarh, sir.
Chandigarh. Okay, 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 fine.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Anyone? Muzavi also has raised her hand or his hand. I don't know, but yeah, please, if you want to say something, or should we proceed further? Excellent interaction by all of you. So this is the last day of the workshop also, and referencing actually is also at the end of the research paper, or you can say at the end of the thesis or the dissertation which we write. So that's why I think this has been intentionally kept on the last day itself. Yeah, and thanks to the wisdom of SS Modi sir, Ravi Modi sir, that so sequentially designed workshop they have they are conducting, and that's.
S-
Let me tell you, this
Sir,
reference actually
Usha
comes.
Kaushik here.
Yeah, Usha ji, please.
Sir, in my opinion, citation is the source of the information which is given in text throughout our dissertation or
Okay.
a paper.
Uh-huh.
So in that we quote only the page number and the surname or the initials of the writer. That is
Uh-huh.
citation. And the list with the details we give at the end of the research paper or at the thesis, that is called as references.
Excellent, excellent. So
Thank
I
you.
don't know whether there is any need for me to explain it further or not. So you have covered almost all the things. Thank you, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, who was this?
I'm Usha Kaushik from Gujarat.
Yeah, Usha ji. Okay, fine. So, yeah, thank you, Usha ji. Thanks for being visible. Yeah. So, what the thing is, as I was telling you, that referencing actually is something, a list which is provided at the end of the thesis, dissertation, or you can say a research paper. But yeah, because it's at the end, that's why it has been scheduled in this particular workshop also at the end. But at the same time, let me tell you, the first most line which you write from your introduction comprise of the citation and referencing part. So it starts with right from the beginning. Now there is one misconception which I would like to share with you is that when we do literature review, then only we have to go for this citation or referencing, but it is not so. From the beginning, from the introduction itself, means from the very first line of the introduction, if you have taken it from somewhere else, you must cite it. And if you are citing it, it will be in the references at the end of the particular document, paper, project, dissertation, report, thesis, whatever. Right. So it starts from the time when we start our research. Research is a process, as you all know. So when we start thinking of certain idea to do a research work, we start thinking about that, is there any work which has been done till date on the same. So what we will do is we will try to search out what has happened regarding that particular thing till date, so that we must know that if we can get some clue to start our research work. And research something is a inculcation of the idea which comes originally in your mind. Why it is called original? Because this has not been resolved. To some extent, you can say that this is a problem of the why research has to be there, because this is a problem which is there in the society itself, because we all are human beings, we all are interacting with each other. There may be certain instances which actually hamper us, which sometimes actually gives a clue that this is something which needs some attention, or this is a problem which actually needs to be addressed. So when we say it like this, that this is a problem which needs to be addressed, this is a thing which we need to bring answer to, then we say that we are doing some research which is fruitful for the society. Normally what is done these days is that we try to compare two things, right? Comparative study of certain banks or something like that, and we want to come out with certain things that this is there in that and this is not there in that. So such type of research normally is discouraged. This will not bring anything new to the forte of the research as such. So there has to be something new which has to come up, and for in order to have something new, we have to know what is old or what is existing. And there comes the role of citation and referencing itself. Because whenever we are quoting some certain things which has been the work which has been done by the previous people, then we have to give them a proper credit. And we have to, and one more thing, sometimes we say that is it necessary to cite? So are there any other things, means for example, what is the other side of the coin? Sometimes I say that I have heard certain things somewhere, but I don't know the source. So should I cite that or not? That is one of the most important things sometimes comes in our mind. What happens if we do not cite? If we do not cite it goes it, then it will be unethical. Sometimes we paraphrase the thing that the plagiarism software is also not able to detect, but at the same time it is unethical not to cite. One more thing, one more repercussion can be there, that if we are paraphrasing the thing and still we are not citing it, we may be in soups, we may be in problem. Why it is so is that a person who has given certain things, if you are not citing it, it means that this is something you are saying by your own, but at the same time it may have some repercussion that particular thing may be wrong. So if that thing is wrong and you have not cited it properly, then it means that you are saying something wrong. So there are some negative aspect of it also, that why we should cite. So it is always necessary that we must cite the work which whatever we have referred to and whatever we are bringing it to the platter whenever we are doing the research. So this is the importance of citation. So let us now proceed further with this, that what citation is. I have already just now, you all have told it. Citation in Hindi, if you see, it is called udvaran, which means quotation, or you can say quote, or extract, or you can say reference. So now reference itself comes in the definition of the citation. So if you see, according to Merriam-Webster dictionary, citation is a reference to a source. So whenever we are confused, we should go to the generic meaning of it. Okay, so that's why. So it is a reference to the source which is there. So for example, this is again is a quotation which I have taken from somewhere. A citation is an abbreviated alphanumeric expression embedded in a body of an intellectual work that denotes an entry in the bibliometric reference section of the work for the purpose of acknowledging the reference of the work of others to the topic of discussion at the spot where the citation is. Now this particular thing, I have taken it from somewhere, that's why you can see it is in double quotes. Now this is a exact correct definition. I think that this particular author might have invested, I think, hours to just prepare this particular definition of the citation. Right now, this particular, if you see over here, this particular thing, citation 2021, if you are seeing over here on my screen, this is what is citation. Now what will happen to the reference now? Now what is referencing over here? Now referencing will be how it will be shown in the reference portion, which is at the back. Now this citation, this is this. Now this is retrieved on January, because I have taken it from Wikipedia. Right, so it is coming as such that it has been taken from Wikipedia, and this is because it's a source. It is a type of a website from where I have taken it up. So there is a particular style of showing it, that from where it has come from. Sorry. So this is what is a citation and what is a reference. Now this particular reference will be shown at the end of the work when you will be going. Now in the same way, what is referencing is, while writing a piece of work, when we are using someone else's words or ideas, we must reference them. This means that the detailed information of all the sources consulted, both within your text, that is an in-text citation, what we call is, and at the end of the work, or you can say the reference or a bibliography is called a reference. So reference means in Hindi, in a general sense, we say reference is हवाला देना, कि किसी के हवाले से और किसी के रेफरेंस से कुछ चीज बोलना, मतलब मैंने नहीं बोला है, ये वो बोल रहा है. Sometimes it happens in the court of law also. In law, the citation is the most important part, because without citation, the judge will not listen to you. You have to give the citation, or you have to refer the case laws which have created the precedent in the favor of your client for whom you are fighting in the court. Now, this particular project, or you can say the thesis or research paper is nothing less than a case, because there you are substantiating your problem statement, and in order to substantiate your problem statement, you have to cite, you have to give hawala of something over there. That's why it is important. So this means that if any source from where we have used the information is our own scholarly work, we must also mention, and we would like others also that they should also mention the same thing for us too. Okay, so citation and reference, I have just now told you, I've just now given one example, this complete definition I have given. So citation and reference can be seen over here, that what is citation and what is reference. Reference comes in the list of referencing, which we paste at the end of the research paper. Now, another example, if you see over here also, now this is a citation which is given. So this particular citation is regarding the blog, right? So this is given as that these 2-3 people have written a blog post, and this is the APA style of referencing. Now, again, what is referencing? What are the various styles of referencing? We will be coming on that. So 3 of them have given, and 3 of them might be saying certain same thing about APA style. So they are referring the APA style over here. That's why this is a in-text citation which is given, that Brecker, Lee, and McAdoo wrote blog post about APA style. This is something which I have written in the text. Okay, and the reference I have already taken. I have already given that it is from the blogs, and those blogs, and there is a special style to refer the blogs. I will be discussing each and every source, that how to refer them also in this particular presentation which we are going to listen to. So one more thing is there, what actually is bibliography? Can anyone tell me the difference between the reference and the bibliography, or what bibliography is? Yes, anyone? What is bibliography? And how it is different from referencing? Anyone? What is bibliography?
Hello, can I tell, sir?
Yeah, madam, please carry on.
In
Please tell your name first.
Yeah, my name is Nagalambika,
Yeah.
a research scholar. The what we call in reference, we are list out all the detail which we are citing in the research paper or thesis. And
Okay.
bibliography is the work which we may cite or we may not cite, or which we are studying, but we are not citing in the paper. We are calling it as a bibliography.
So what is the
Thank you,
use
sir.
of not citing and then presenting it in a bibliography?
Might be we are collecting the idea for generating a new idea. So
Okay.
to collect the original idea, we are referring some other source. Okay, that we are calling it as a bibliography, sir.
Fine. Yeah, Sona Sen, you also want to say something? Sona Sen, you raised your hand. Yes. Yeah. Anyone else?
Sir, bibliography includes the resources which we have referred for study. Not actually cited all the things, but we have referred that for our more understanding. That is called as bibliography.
Fine. So it means that bibliographic, what just now Nagalambika has also told, that bibliographic consists of certain sources which we might not have cited, but
Yes,
we are
yes,
giving
yes.
it in the
But we have
bibliography.
referred those.
Yeah, we have referred. Means just imagine how much important it is to give the credit, to give the reference. Means even if you have seen something somewhere, or
Hmm.
may I say that if even if you have heard it somewhere, may you might have seen a video, may you might have seen any movie, or you might have generated some idea out of that movie, that also needs to be referred, and that will not come in the citation, but it will come in the bibliography portion. Very good, excellent. So bibliography is a compilation of every source that was utilized directly or indirectly, whether reference in the paper or not, while searching or researching a material for a paper or a thesis or whatsoever project. So we will call it as a paper, right? So I will be discussing means paper includes all type of reports over here. So I will be using it by default. It is called paper, right? So bibliography is that which comprise of the reference also, and means or other things also which are not being referred as such, or you can say which are not being cited. Actually, reference are created by citations, right? And those things which are in the bibliography may not be cited because it cannot be cited. Why it is not cited is that because it cannot be cited at all, because I have seen something somewhere. So though there are styles which we will be discussing, that each and every type of thing which we could cite uh, must be cited, but still, if there are certain things which we have referred but it cannot be cited because there is no particular style for citation of those things, these will also be included in the bibliography, right? So it comprises of all directly, indirectly, reference or not, whatsoever has been is to be taken, then it will be comprised of the bibliography itself. So if you see the difference between the bibliography or the similarity between the bibliography and reference list, you can just see with the help of this particular diagram. So if the bibliography include a citation to the work which might not be mentioned in the text. So we have not done any in-text citation particularly for those works, but still, and why we have not done, because it cannot be done. And further citations included for suggested further reading or the background purpose also comprise of the bibliography, because we want others to just refer certain things in order to make better meaning out of whatever we have presented, right? Further, in reference list, you can say citations are actually aligned, or they to the direct to the it is aligned to the direct material whatsoever is given. Okay, so it actually is meant to the direct reader to a particular work cited in the text as such, because I might have taken something out of that particular thing, I might have paraphrased it, or might have done certain things, some meaning I have got out of it, but I have referred it and I have the source of citing it. That's why I'm citing it, and that's why it comes in the reference list. Further, sources cited need not to be mentioned in the text, and further means they need to be mentioned in the text itself, because whatsoever I'm citing without mentioning in the text, it will not be called as if it is citing. Further, it is used in the scholarly papers and your research paper, so it has a direct connect with whatsoever we have used. Now, both the things both appear at the end of the book, or at the end of the paper, or at the end of the particular project which we are referring to, and both include the similar information. Information is similar. So both include alphabetically arranged citations. Citations are also alphabetically arranged, but only one difference is there. The difference is that why we are not citing it is because we cannot cite it. That is the only thing which we have to consider as such. Yeah. So you can see the format of now this particular slide shows the format of a APA style. So here there are certain rules regarding these styles, for author rules, date rules, title rules, and publisher rules. So these are the rules which are there. And now, because APA 7 has also come up, so it also has certain rules that you have to write the information about the URL which has been there, or otherwise the DOI has to be mentioned. So we will talk about this DOI in my further slides. So what the author rule says, that the initials are separated and ended by a period, means a comma. So first you have to write the name of the author, the surname, and then the initials of him. And if there are multiple authors and they have to be separated by a comma, right? And if there are more than three authors, then you have to use the word et al. Multiple authors, or you can say if the multiple people are saying the same thing, you want to refer them in one, then in that case each and every for each and every author uh, you have to just quote them out. But with the help of this word et al or something like that, you can refer them as one is. I mean, means multiple authors can be referred with that. And at the end, when you will be putting the references, so reference will comprise of the details of each and every paper which has been referred by you for writing that particular literature. Further, the date rule says that the date refers to the date of publishing. If the date is unknown, then n.d means no date will be used in the place of uh, uh, the date itself, or you can say the year. Okay, just example Mendeley, comma JA and D. So something like that, that if the date is not mentioned, then it has to be. Title is the, you can say the formal, the format of this change depending on what is being referenced, means that is the actual the title, which is sometimes it is given in italic, sometimes it is given in normal itself, right? So publisher rules, what publisher rule says that, so it you have to give the location where the publisher is, and even you have to give the city also. These all things have to be mentioned. And further, if it has been retrieved or it has been extracted from certain online source, then those online source needs to be mentioned also. Yeah, I just saw some queries over here. So anyone want to ask something over here? Okay, okay. So let me proceed further. Yeah. So again, if you want to see it in an open way, this is one of the way of the format of the referencing, or you can say APA 7 edition referencing happens like this. It comprises of the author name with a period and full stop also, and then again the date is there. Date has to be the year, and then again the complete article name. Further, the general title is there, and volume, issue, and pages. Now see how volume, issue, and pages are to be shown. Volume and then issue is in bracket, and then comma from which page to which page. This is there. Further, this also comprises of the DOI. DOI I will come to. I will explain what the DOI is. Further, the intent is 5 to 7 points, or you can say 0.5 inches space has to be given over here in order to separate the name over here, right? So this is to be given as such, and this is what is the format is. Yeah. So let us now proceed further with this. Yeah. Now, how many types of references? Yeah. Anyone can anyone tell me that what or you can say what are the things which you can refer? Or any other question, if somebody wants to ask or somebody wants to contribute over here, you are most welcome. Yes. How many types of the things which can be cited or referred? Yes, come on.
Yes, sir. It can be research papers, book chapters, conference proceedings,
Yeah, may I know the name?
websites. Yeah, this is Dibha from Delhi.
Yeah, Nibhaji, request to all of you, whenever you are coming, when you are interacting, please on your videos.
Actually, sir, some bandwidth problem is there. I'm so sorry. I wanted
It's
to
okay.
bandwidth. Audio
What
is
happens? Yeah.
clear.
What happens? This all things are being recorded, and this will be there on the YouTube also. So it will be good if we will be
Yeah,
interact.
that no,
Otherwise, what
sir.
will happen?
Initial 2 days I had done, but some bandwidth problem is going on.
Okay, I'm
I'm
unfortunate
taking
to.
my classes also, sir, without video nowadays.
Okay.
I'm so
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah, madam, you want yours?
It is like research papers, journal papers, and the papers that we are referring from websites.
Okay.
It is book chapters, it is
Very good.
website, it is
Excellent.
conference proceedings.
Excellent. Very good. Very good. Yeah. Some anyone else, if you want to add up what just now ma'am has told. Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
I wanted to add this side, Vishakha.
Yeah, Vishakha ji.
So we can also refer to the videos,
Very good.
audio-visual media can be used
Excellent.
We can also, refer to the paintings and,
Wow, artery work.
yes. So, apart from the text, we can use the audio visual things also for
Excellent.
reference and citation.
Excellent, excellent. So besides the documentation part, you can use, okay, you know what, anyways, I'm just off the track, I'm just going. You know what is big data? Anyone? A little bit off the track, but it is related. Yeah. Big data, anyone from you? What is big data? Yeah, Hina Ramwani ji, you want to say something, Hina ji? Or you want to contribute something else, you can. My question is, what is big data? Anyone from you, please? Yes. Uh, Big data actually comprise of the data which is so big that it comprises of everything whatsoever. It means that previously we used to ask that what is observation. So the answer was that whatever we see is observation. But let me tell you, whatever we see, whatever we hear, whatever we feel, whatever we touch, whatever we taste, everything is observation. In the same way, whatsoever creates a information will be a data, and these data when these are analyzed in one sequence, for example, your posture, gesture of standing, taking things from a mall, the type of things which you are getting, everything comprised of big data, because there will be certain reason of doing certain things. So when we are investigating under in certain reasons of doing certain things, all those things which we are going to capture will come in big data. It will comprise of movies, it will comprise of videos, audios, sounds, background, pollution, family background, whatever. So each and everything is a big data. In the same way, when we are referring all these things, because these comprise of the source of information, we have to quote them, we have to refer them, or we have to cite them in our papers, and all these things are citable. And that's why it is there are the referencing has, or the citation has increased manifold these days. So books, secondary sources, periodicals, dissertations, reports and meetings, and electronic resources, because these have to be captured and to be kept somewhere. So this particular google.com, the Google Baba, you can say, from where you can get each and everything, Googleshwar Mahadev. I say is Googleshwar Mahadev, भगवान से मांगो नहीं मिलता, गूगल से मांगो मिल जाएगा, कुछ ना कुछ तो मिलता ही है. So whenever you type something over there, you get something. So these all things comprise of certain ways of referring, certain styles of doing the things, or how will you be able to cite it? Because more and more citation you do, more and more referencing you do in your paper, it becomes more richer, and it gives you a better not only the confidence, but readers also says that these things are more authentic, right? So these are the various sources. So we'll be taking it up one by one. So first of all is the page layout. Now here, let me tell you, I will be discussing only the APA style in depth today. Why? Because APA style is the style which is mostly used in the social sciences, number one, and in other sciences also. Secondly, most of the journals, they use APA style of referencing, because the data which is captured in this is much more better than the other sources. And for most important, not means at last but not least, our Inspira journals are also using the APA style of referencing. So we must know how what the APA style is, and we can instantly convert it also. I will tell you how to do that in Word and in Mendeley too, right? So page layout has to be like this. Whenever it is said that it has to be a APA style, until and unless certain things are given by your institute or university, or the journal in which you are going to publish, until unless these things are given, this is 12 font size and Times News Roman font to be used. Now here, unless you receive the other information, for the first page, your page should be like this, that it has to have 1 inch up and 1 inch border from top and from the side also. Okay, and further the title of the page has to be, it has to be like this, that it is bold and in the title case. Further, the author name, again I have already told you that how it has to appear, the first name, middle name and the last name, right? And if they are multiple authors, then each line separately, the name of the authors along with their affiliations have to be there. Further, the university name, or you can say the institute name, will be there, and the course number, course type, whatever you are doing, if it is a thesis or a report, something like that, then it has to be there. Instructor name, it is there. And then the assignment due date. Due date is nothing but the date of its submission, whenever you have submitted your thesis. And the page number should appear at the top most. This is what is the style, means top left corner, it has to be there, right? But sometimes we just skip it off because we do not need to have this page number on the title page itself. So Word itself, MS Word is having this setting whether you want to put this page number on the in the title or not, or what. Okay, so this has to be there. Further, when you are going with the title page layout, then a title has to be, you can say, centered or bold, and it has to be in the title case, and the page number should again appear at the top left corner of the page. So these two are the things which normally we do not follow, because every journal or every university or every agency, means journal for the journals, university for the theses, and the agencies for the project reports have their own style they want it to be in. So these instructions are already given. Otherwise, in APA style, if you see, these are the things which have to be taken care of. Further, there is a reference page layout. So references should come in between, and it should comprise of who has actually written the paper, and then the year, and then the text. So this particular comprise of the entire title of the complete title of that particular paper which is being referred. And where means it can be, where it can be found means from where it can be where means that the page number or the journal name has to be there, and where it could be retrieved from means if I need to refer it, where should I go and refer it again, because this reference portion has to be retrieved was not previously there. Now it has from 2019 in APA 7 it has come up. Okay, so when you will go for the APA 7 style, this is the thing which is to be, which will compulsorily be there. Further, when we are talking about the reference page, the reference must be always on the new page, and one should not sort the names within the reference. Right? So that's how, because reference style already is sorted with alphabetical order. So one must not run their own sorting over there. Right? And each reference has a hanging indent of 0.5 inches, I've already told you. So in Word, or you can say the paragraph, or means there you can go in the paragraph indentation and special. So you will have that hanging indent over there. If you go in the paragraph in the Word, and in an indentation column, if you go and if you press special, you will find this. So there you can set it as a 0.5 as a hanging indent, or even you can use the scale also in order to set the hanging indents with the help of the scale which is given in the MS Word. Okay, so this is what the reference page should look like. Now next is a in-text citation. In-text citation, we can say there are two ways of citing the in-text citation. One is parenthetical and other is narrative. Means whenever we are writing something, we have done something, and in parenthesis is within the brackets. So if we have to put certain things in the bracket, we can just put it and leave it. Sometimes we use it as a narrative that this person has said this thing, this person has urged this thing. So accordingly, it has to be there. So both supply the same basic information, but they are formatted differently. So if you see this parenthetical in-text citation, author name and the publication date, that is the name of the year, will be there. Now, if the author is unknown, then what will happen? If the author is unknown, the work title moves directly to the author's position. Means what? For example, the format of the title, if it has to be italicized. So if the work title is italicized in the reference list, the italicized, it within the text citation. Then you have to, then itself this double quotes will not be used, and further you have to capitalize the title using the title case itself. Okay, so this is one of the example of in text example, something like that, that some author has given. Or if the author is not there, then the title of the book itself is given. Suppose for example, this has been taken from a strategic management. So strategic management in 2011 somebody has told, but we do not know who is the author, so we can write it like this. Okay. Yeah, Hina ji, you have something to ask? Yeah, you are not muted actually. Anyways, yeah. So in text citation, you can say if the work is not italicized, if the work title is means it in the reference. I have already told you it has to be in the quotes like this. I have just now told you. Sorry. Yeah. So if it is not there, then it has to be in double quotes. Right. Further, if we have to cite the specific part of the work, because sometimes it happens that a long report is there, or a paper which is of 20 pages is there, we have referred it, but sometimes it happens that we have only need to refer a certain portion of that particular paper. Suppose for example, I have found some data, and that data I have found in certain paper which otherwise cannot be retrieved from the website from where that particular paper has taken. So now again, as it will be a secondary source for me, but at least with the help of that paper, at least I can substantiate that this particular data belongs to this paper from where I have taken. So accordingly, if I have to just mention that particular portion from where I have retrieved or where I have extracted that data, then I have to put the page numbers along with. For example, this is Smith 2015 PP. PP is particular page. Means from this 5 page number 10 to 15, I have just taken it. Okay, so accordingly it will come over here. So just you have to note one thing, that page number should always be included within the in-text citation when directly quoting from the work, because we are directly using it. So that particular pages have to be shown over here. It has to be quoted as such. For example, table numbers are there. In case the table numbers of particular paper is to be referred, then that particular table number will also come. At that time, we need not to mention the page numbers, just a table number of that particular work will be mentioned over here. Further, the location of the in-text citation, sometimes I have already told you that sometimes it appears, it seems that you have to see see which particular location of the paper or that particular sentence is there. So if it has to be within the sentence, or it is at the end of the sentence. So what will be the location of the in-text citation? So when we are just using it within the sentence, so it can be in the way, for example, this particular a new framework, NOVAC 2015 has been devised to enhance the organization's understanding for the supply chain efficiencies. Now we want to actually use this name, that this person has actually told this. Both the things will have the same name, same function, but sometimes we want to emphasize more that this person has told this thing. So in that way, if we want to write, then it will be within the sentence, or we can put it at the end of the sentence. And if we are putting it at the end of the sentence, then we have to use the double quotes. Yeah, one more misconception is there, that in double quotes we can just copy and paste whatsoever the other person has written. This is not so. This will come in the plagiarism itself, and you cannot get rid of this. Okay, so whenever you are writing something in double quotes means, or one must not use long double quotes at all. There are certain rules for using this double quotes also. For example, the person has defined certain things. So definition of those 2-3 words which he has defined can be in double quotes. He might have coined certain new terminology. So that particular new terminology can be in double quotes. But at the same time, if you are just copying and pasting the text from the double quotes, okay, because I'm mentioning, I'm giving the credit, what's harm in that? That is sometimes not ethical, and it is not treated good. Okay, so that is what it is, what I want to say. So narrative itself, and when we are writing something in narration means that some certain person had said something, then it will be in the form of this particular name and then the publication year. Just like this, that Sendria 2015 points out no individual is likely to possess. So this particular person, this particular thing is in the in-text in-text citation as a narrative. But there are certain rules regarding abbreviations also, because if the group or the author name is well known, then you may not use the full forms. Okay, so abbreviation, there are certain abbreviation guidelines for it. So provide the full name, the first name, and the name mentioned in the text followed by the abbreviation. For subsequent citation, the abbreviation format can be used. Further, we should not abbreviate the group name in the reference list as such. So this is one of the example you can say. Right? So American Medical Association, here in parenthesis we have already used, and in the square brackets we have used the abbreviated form of it. And even when we are using it from the point of view of narration, because it's a group name, then we can use this along with the parenthesis with the year embedded. Their square brackets will not be required. Okay. Now next is books. So this is what I just told you about, was the abbreviations, or you can say the in-text narration. Now let us just see how the books are cited. So depending on the format of the reference source, there are variation in how the reference is to be listed. So it varies. Okay, so it is often, you can say, best to model the citation as per the example whatsoever is given. Means if somebody has quoted certain books in certain way, in certain style, if it is already there, then we should follow that particular. So we have to just identify the document type, and suppose it is a periodical, or it is a book, or it's a chapter, or it's a website, whatsoever it is. Okay, so we have to find a similar way of, or you can just find out the example how it has been there, and then you can mirror your things in that particular specification. Just like here, if you see the book citation in the general format is authors, year of publication, title of the book, publisher name, and then the DOI. Okay. Now, when using this direct quote, you have to add the source page, the page number in the in-text citation also. So this particular book has a single author. If you see, it's a single author book. So single author is given over here. And the remaining things are same as that of the normal book citation. So in-text example, if you want to see, then it can be in the parenthesis as we have. And if it is in narrative, means parenthetical citation is used at the end of the sentence for which we are using to refer it, and narrative citation is used anywhere in between the sentence according to the sentence which we have framed while writing the review. Further, if an ebook or audiobook is there, the similar thing is there, but here one most important thing is that we have to mention the website from where we have actually retrieved. Okay. Further, if you see, suppose two authors are there, then you have to put and in between, but mind it that we have to first use the surname and then the initials of the middle name, and then only we can proceed further. And again, in citation, and can be used in order to have the in-text citation or the parenthesis citation you can say. But if there are multiple authors, then we can use etel, as I have already told that etel can be used as such. So the example for the in-text citation particularly is also given, that how it will be used. And in narrative way, again, the parenthesis will be on the years. And if it is in the parenthetical way at the end of the citation, then the entire thing has to be in the parenthesis itself. Rest things are same. Remaining means the most important thing over here is that whenever we are using the multiple authors, then we can use at the time of referring it. Next is regarding a corporate author, or you can say publisher author with DOI, then DOI has to be mentioned along with the other things. No, here when we are mentioning the DOI, then we may just skip out other things, because when document identification itself is there, then there's no problem. The in-text citation remains the same as that of the other. If there is an edited book and if no author is there, then we can just, or here the author is there, edited book without the author. So sometimes the edited books are given and even the author's name are sometimes hidden, or maybe something. So you can use the title particularly of that book. Here it is used, no problem is there. Okay. Further, article or a chapter in an edited book is to be referred, then you have to mention the things as same as that of we used to mention particularly for the you can say the journals, because the page number and all. But at the same time, here the publisher name has to be mentioned. So in journal, we normally do not include the publisher name when the journal is to be referred, but only the name of the journal is there. So sometimes big publishers have multiple journals, but we do not put it in the journal citation. But here in the edited book chapter, it has to be mentioned. And the in-text citation, whether it is narrative or parenthetical, remains same as that of the other way which we are using. So particularly when we are using the in-text citation, it is almost same for all type of reference to be given. Okay. So if it is a second or a letter edition book, then the edition number has to be mentioned. This is a sixth edition, so here the edition number is mentioned. So edition number also needs to be mentioned, because the books change from edition to edition, and accordingly the content also gets changed. So for example, if any revised edition which has recently come up with certain in the same year itself, then again we have to put it as a revised one. Just see here, revised edition. So accordingly it has to be done. Further, if there is a translation of certain book which is to be mentioned, then you have to mention when the original book was published. When the original work was published also needs to be mentioned along with. So when the book or the book introduction, preface, or a foreword, afterword has to be mentioned, then because these are also the sources which can be used. Sometimes we take the things from the foreword of the book, afterword of the book, or you can say preface, introduction, or sometimes from the review of the book also. So we have to mention that from which portion we have referred, particularly in our own text as such, right? Further, if the multi-volume book is there, then you have to mention that which volumes you want to consider. Suppose, for example, over here, if you see this, this particular year given over here is 1984 to 2000, and the volume. So this is huge thing which we have, which has been referred. Okay, so here particularly a good advice is again to give those locations from where the reference has been taken. If the multiple volume, one volume or no individual title is there, then again we have to mention just like this handbook for reading the research, something like this has mentioned. So there are various things how we have to mention the things. Yeah, and even yeah, this is now next we are proceeding further with the secondary sources. So mostly it is seen that the whatsoever we are referring is a secondary source, because literature review itself is said to be a secondary source of referencing. So can anyone tell me what is secondary source over here for providing references? And if this is a secondary one, so what is the difference between the primary source and the secondary source? Anyone from you? Yes.
Primary, sir, can I?
Yeah, ma'am, please just mention your name.
Yeah, this is Dr. Lynette from Chennai.
Yeah.
So primary source is the information that you get directly from your respondents or your sample. Okay. Secondary sources are already available sources of information.
Fine. So Dr. Lynette, all the sources, suppose for example, the books, the journals, all come in the secondary sources itself?
Yes, mostly. Yes, I
Okay.
think.
Okay, fine.
So if I collect information through questionnaire or survey, then it becomes my primary source of information.
Yeah, that I will say it is a primary data which you have
Yeah,
collected.
primary data. Yeah.
Yeah, that is a primary data, and the source is also primary. But madam, sometimes what happens, the source is secondary, but the data is primary.
Oh, oh, if I can say with an example, there is a statement, no, a financial statement of a company.
Okay.
So that's actually a secondary source. But when I use it for my research, no, when I study that statement, does it become my primary data? No, I don't know. I'm just asking.
No problem. No, that is what. That's why, ma'am. But you have given a very good explanation about the primary source and secondary source. I am very much thankful to you. But here, a more clarification is needed. That's why I just brought this. That how
Okay.
and why the secondary sources sometimes, or you can see the primary sources sometimes. Sorry, secondary sources sometimes gives the primary data. What I just told you. Yeah. Anyone else with reference to the this citation and referencing? Anyone can you tell me what can be the secondary sources?
Sir, Usha here.
Yeah, Usha ma'am, please.
Sir, I belong to the literature area, the literature field. So I use MLA style, and
Okay.
as per that, as per my understanding is that I do textual analysis. So the original text is my primary source of information, and to develop my understanding, the references which I use, that is maybe articles published in the journals or any thesis or anything which I referred, websites or all, for the development of that article, that is secondary source. So basically the text is my primary data, and if I'm going to compare text with the film, then film and text both are primary data. But for developing that idea, I use various theory books and the articles, that is secondary data.
Very good, ma'am. Anyone else? Anything else if would like to contribute over here? Or
Sir, yes, sir.
yes,
He just
yes,
wanted to
yes, Lataji.
contribute.
Who is there?
Yeah, my name is Dr. Neha Tiwari.
Yeah, Neha ji, bataiye, please.
Sir, when we are talking about the secondary source, while citation is, what my understanding is, when you are actually not taken the reference from the original work of the author, but you
Okay.
have read it somewhere in any other author's work, any research or any books, and that particular author has cited that original author, but you have not taken that piece of work from the original author's work or book or paper.
No, what I can do is I can just see the reference portion, and I can download that paper, whatever is being cited by that author. Now you can say that I am having the original source.
Yes, you. But
So that
sometimes,
secondary becomes a primary.
like sometimes I'm reading a book, and that author has cited some other author's
Okay.
work.
Okay.
So from there, I have taken the reference,
Fine.
and
Now, if you download that particular author's work and see it directly, then will it become a primary or not?
maybe, sir. I'm not sure for that.
But still, very good insight, ma'am. Very good insight. These actually are called cross referencing, right? Because a person who has given some reference and and you may directly go to that reference which he has given, and you can directly quote it. There is no problem in that, until unless that is properly you can say that is authentically related to your work, Nehaji. But Nehaji, very good insight. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, Priyanka ji, you want to say something? Your hand is raised.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, very good evening.
Sir, according to me,
Please.
the primary source would. Hello.
Yeah, with your video on, please, if you don't mind.
Sure, sir. Sure. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. So, sir, according to me, the primary source is something, the original work or the document from which we are capturing the data. And while the secondary source would be something from which, where it has been published and we are taking it from that published document. So that is the major difference between, for example, a reporter has, captured some data, has got some information. So that would be the primary data of that particular reporter. But once it
Okay.
has been published in some newspaper, and we are taking that data from that particular newspaper and we are interpreting it, so
Okay.
that would become
Priyankaji,
the secondary
yeah.
data.
Priyankaji, here when we are referring the sources, when we are seeing the things, everything is secondary. Then what? Why there is a need of secondary and primary over here? Because in literature review, what I suppose is, according to what you have told, is that
Yes, sir.
whoever is there, it has been published. So I'm referring that. So that will always be a secondary one.
Sir, but it would be coming up with some views, some interpretation by the other people also. If
Great.
I talk about the secondary sourcing,
Very good. Very good. Very good. Yes.
but
Yes.
but the primary source would be just the overview which has been given by the reporter who has actually collected that data.
Hold on, Priyanka. I will get back to you. Yeah. Sinaji, you want to say something?
Yes, sir. What
Yeah.
is my understanding is that
Yeah.
suppose I am doing any research, I am collecting
Uh-huh.
primary data, right?
Uh-huh.
And if some, and that is in the form of research paper, someone is citing my work.
Mm-hmm.
If my data is primary data and someone is citing my work, that becomes primary source. And if I am using secondary source of data and then someone is citing me, that becomes secondary source of secondary source.
No, 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 no. Actually, once you have published it, it becomes secondary. What according to you is right?
No, whatever. If suppose I'm collecting data from the field,
Mm-hmm.
I have written one paper
Okay.
and someone is citing my work, that is based on primary data collection.
Okay.
So that becomes primary source.
Fine.
If I have worked for my research paper from this and data source is secondary, and
Okay.
if someone is citing my work, that becomes secondary source of data.
Okay. Means the original source, if it is secondary, then it will be a secondary one.
Source, yes. Primary data, if I'm citing someone's work that is based on primary data collection,
Okay.
that becomes primary source, I think.
Okay. Fine. Yeah, Priyanka ji, what you were saying about the views of the person? Yes.
Yes, sir. So what I was saying is, suppose, sir, if I talk about the referencing, if
Mm-hmm.
somebody, say WHO has given one definition,
Mm-hmm.
okay, so it has been published in one paper, and
Okay.
I have taken that paper into my citation,
Fine.
okay,
No.
where he has used the reference of WHO.
Okay.
So that would become the secondary source.
Yeah, you were saying something about your own inferences. See, let me tell you, Priyanka ji, you were very correct at that time when you said your own references. See, whenever we are seeing any research paper, anything, whenever the
Yes.
inferences which we are getting out of it is our own original, because there can be various ways or various insight of seeing the same paper or various insight of seeing the same research problem, right? So whenever the same insight of seeing the research problem and your insight is something different from what the original author has inferred, that will be something which is called a primary. But when you are using certain things as it is, for example, you have used a table which he has used, now you are using that information as it is in your own research paper, or certain inferences which he has made. Just now you talked about the news reporter. Now you are using that particular news which he has mentioned in his own way, with his own sentiments, in your own work. Then it will be called a secondary one, because he has already taken inference out of it. But when you are going to have different inference in that thing, then it will be called as a primary. So whenever we are going with the primary sources, you can say, right? So what happens over there then? then we have to refer it as it is. For example, this a
Sir,
guide.
please repeat, sir. Please
Yeah,
repeat it.
what I am saying is, whenever we are having our own original inference out of any published work, my inference is original, right? The person might be having some other inference with which he has actually published it, but my inference is totally different. My point of view of seeing that is totally different. Then it will be a primary for me, I think. But if I'm using the things as it is, with his references, with his inferences, with his emotions, with his own things, means the person who has actually quoted it. Okay, suppose for example, I have taken one table out of it. The person has quoted one table and he has made his own inference out of it, which may not be of that meaning for me, but I am taking that table as it is. Now I will be having some other inferences. I may be calculating some more variables out of the same table. It is possible, no? So when I am doing this, I'm taking the table as it is from his paper. Now this particular source will be a secondary source for me. Or if the emotions which he has used, I'm just taking those inferences as it is in my paper, then again it will be a secondary source. Okay, that is the thing. Yeah, Priyanka ji, any other thing? You have raised your hand. Baji,
Sir, I just need to check when we are doing a review of literature and we talk about certain results, the conclusions or the results which has been published by a particular author. So can we take it as a secondary source or a primary source?
Yeah, it will be a secondary source for you.
Okay, sir.
Literature review, right? You have very correctly said. Now, even if some table you have taken,
Right, sir.
right, that is again a secondary source. But if you have seen something new in it and you want to quote it in your own language or in your own way, then it will be your primary source. But the source of that because it has already been published, that what is a distinction, that what is you can say a tussle sometimes, and this is this sometimes become a debatable thing also, that whether it will be considered as a primary or a secondary. See, primary is something which has come to me for the first instance, and I have given it a shape, then it will be called as a primary.
So, for example, if we are working on some paper, like we are doing some ROLs, and we got 10 papers based on some gender or a age group, and we are concluding it in our words. So that would be the primary source.
Yeah,
because we are doing it as a conclusion by our own understanding.
Priyanka ji, it is difficult. It is not that much easy.
Okay, sir.
Taking inference out of certain thing which has already been inferred, it actually gives you means normally it doesn't comes out in that way, because you have a lot of efforts and you have to substantiate that why you want to, and that actually gives you a new rise to your research, because there itself some person has inferred it in that way, but there will be some other side of the coin also which you have picked up, that particularly will be a research problem for you.
Okay, sir.
That will be a primary thing, and from where you can start the things further.
Okay.
But when we go in depth about any paper, this actually happens.
Right, sir. Right.
Normally, while doing the literature review, what we are doing, in general, everyone does. 99% people do not read the complete paper. They come on the abstract. Am I correct or not?
Yes, sir.
We see the abstract and we make the inference. It means what? We are always using the secondary things. But sometimes when we are reading the paper, especially when the research methodology, and if you have a good knowledge of research methodology, you will be having some other point of view of seeing the same things from the different angle.
Right, sir. Right.
That will give you insight of writing another paper, maybe using the same data or the similar data. It's
right. Thank you, sir.
That's why, that's why it is always advisable. Yeah. Okay. Vishakha ji, you want to say something? Vishakha madam? Okay. Nibaji, you have something to say again?
Sir, is it like literature review portion that is there in the dissertation and research paper? So the literature review that we are doing, that comes like primary source, because the gap we are finding. So
yes,
analyzing with different perspectives.
Sometimes it is.
Okay, not always.
Yeah, not always. I have told you it is difficult. When you have got out certain things, you have your own angle. Now it will be primary for you because you have inferred it.
Because the gap we have found out.
Yeah.
So different perspective we have taken from the same.
That's why I'm saying that with the secondary source, you have given some primary outlook to it.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. So there are again, you can just you can say the primary grades, or just like this, the secondary source has been mentioned, and in-text citation in this, it will be in the same, because when we are using certain things from the secondary, means in the secondary way, suppose one research scholar has cited some other research scholar, and you want to cite it in your paper as it is, as I've already told you, it has to be this word cited. If you see this word cited in the reference, cited, this cited has to be used. Okay, so you have to use this word, that that particular person has cited this, and I am also again citing it, is allowed. But the thing is that you have to mention it that somebody else has used it in this way. Okay. Next is your DOI. What is a DOI? I will not waste much time. DOI, because we have a shortage of time, we have to do some practical thing also. And just now be ready with, I will be putting something in your text box. You can directly click that link. You will get a DOI website open. And there you can shorten the DOI also, which we'll be doing in the next slide. So DOI is a digital object identifier, is a unique string that provides a persistent link to content on the internet, that this particular object is having certain identification link. So this is something unique. Okay, so that's why the papers those who have the DOI are ranked more than those who do not have the DOIs, right? And the shortened DOIs are something, because DOIs are sometimes very, very long. So shortened DOIs can also be used. So this is a particular website from where we can go for shortening the DOIs. Okay, so when the shortened DOI is created, it is again unique, and it will refer to the same DOI itself. Means the longer DOI and the shortened DOI both will be the same thing. Okay, so if a short DOI was created previously, the service will retrieve the already existing shortened DOI itself, because you cannot shorten the shortened DOI more. Okay, so let us just do this thing of, just suppose for example this is given, so I will be using the same example to how to just go for this shortened DOI itself. Okay, so this is the one research paper on which DOI is already given, right? So if you see, this DOI is quite so long. So if you want to use a short DOI, why? Because I want to put shortened DOI in my reference, so you can short this DOI. So how you can do it is that, how to shorten your DOI. So you have to just do this. Let me just give you this example by inserting something in your, or you can just use this. There's no need to do this. Yeah, just write this shortdoi.org in Google. Please do it. Shortdoi.org in your Google, right? And where is the if I want to, where is the chat box gone? रवि जी, ये चैट बॉक्स किधर है इसका?
Chat box, sir. Actually, Vishaka has raised a question.
क्या?
She is not
अच्छा,
able to mute with. She has written with context to this. Can you tell a bit about theoretical framework and contextual framework?
विशाखा जी, आई विल एलोबरेट इट. सर मेरा नंबर दे दीजिएगा, बिकॉज हेयर आई हैव सम अदर स्लाइड्स टू कवर. So
Okay.
sorry, I will take your problem afterwards. We'll clarify your doubts further too. No problem. Raviji, please give my number to everyone whosoever wants to be in touch. Right?
Sure.
Please tell me, where is the chat? Okay. I think here itself. Yeah. Hold on, if I am going to. Okay. Vishaka ji, for you and for everyone, I have given my number over here. Yeah, one more thing I would like to do over here is that, let me just hold on. I have to stop share it. Then again, I will share this. Yeah. Yeah, in the chat box itself, I am mentioning one DOI. So what you can do is just mention that DOI over here, and you will be able to get the shortened DOI. Yes. Yes. So I have already given one DOI in the chat box. Okay. So this DOI is already there with you. So you have already opened the DOI website, I suppose, shortdoi.org. Raviji, please see. It is there with all of you. Yes, shortened DOI कर लिया क्या सबने? Now this, as soon as you will put this type of website will open, and here you have to paste the DOI and you have to press submit. Okay, then you will be able to do that, how to shorten the DOI. Yeah, done. Raviji, please see.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. They have done.
Okay, so this is the particular website where you can shorten your DOI. Next is your periodicals or the journals. You can say this may be comprising of the DOIs also. See, in-text citation is similar as that of everything now. Here, if the parenthesis is to be used, and if it is in particular, if you are referring, then you have to put the page numbers. Otherwise, the things are same. I have already discussed about the periodicals, except that the DOI will be mentioned at the end. Right, so here are two examples given. One is without this. The two separate examples are given from two separate journals. Okay, from where we can do. So here, in the first example, if you see the paragraph, this page number is used over here. If you see the in-text example, this is a page number being used. In the next example, you can say it is the paragraph is being used if it if I want to refer a particular para, right? That is to be done. And further, if it is without DOI, then DOI will not be there, and you can refer it, refer the journal without DOI is also okay. Multiple authors are there, then you have to write to mention the name of the authors and accordingly along with the DOI. And in the in-text citation itself, you can use if two authors are there, you can use both the names of both the authors and accordingly. And if the journal with DOI or with 3 or more authors are there, then accordingly you have to use. And then in the in-text citation, you have to use et al. But at the end, in referencing portion, the full item will come up. So in the in-text citation, if you see over here, it is et al. Being used over here. Right? So in the same way, it is done. So in magazines also, now see, in the periodicals also, there are journals. Magazines are also there. Okay. So in magazine itself, the things are similar, ditto similar as that of our journals. Provided, if you see over here, we used to have the issues and the page numbers and the volumes. So in journals, journal comprise of the issues and the volumes. So this may not be there. So that sometimes is mentioned to which page number. So page number from this to this has to be mentioned. Okay, so sometimes it is some article from the website is there, then particular website has to be mentioned over here because we need to retrieve it. So that retrieving information needs to be given. Okay, so in the same way, if the newspaper article is to be mentioned or editorial is to be mentioned, so there are ways to do it. Okay, so accordingly, means almost the things are similar, but we must know how to do it and how it is. Suppose dissertation and theses are to be mentioned. So here also one more thing, like dissertation or thesis, if it is from the database, then you have to mention that database. And if it is without database, so our database, you might be knowing Shodhganga is there. So Shodhganga is a repository of the data, or you can say it is a database of all the theses which are uploaded over there, right? So our university, Manipal University, Jaipur, is also registered with Shodhganga. You may find certain theses from our university also over there. So it is always a good practice. So whenever such type of things are there, then you will find that this particular, suppose this university is having a repository. So ProQuest dissertations and thesis is global. So this is one which is the database from where this can be, from where, which has been referred over here. Okay, in the same way, this might be absent over here. Or suppose it is a monograph, then it has to be mentioned that it is a monograph of which university. The main important thing is that we have to mention from where we can retrieve it. For example, annual reports of a company, even some company profile you have taken from the website. So that company profile, that particular reference of that website also needs to be mentioned over here whenever we are referring it, right? In the same way, electronic sources, music album can also be referred, and there has to be a proper reference to be given particularly for the music album. And these are the things that who is the author means who has actually written that particular song, in which it has been published, what is the title of the album, and the album publisher who has published that album. Okay, so this is something related to your electronic sources. In others, you can say there is encyclopedia online, then this reference can be used as such. Particularly, you have to mention that which encyclopedia it is, and most important thing is the website address from where you have retrieved. Okay, even the Facebook post or the blog post can also be referred, because I have already told you sometimes it is very good to refer certain things on the electronic sources in order to save yourself sometimes. Okay, so that needs to be mentioned, that needs to be there. So blog post or some Facebook, mostly it happens when we are doing some research which is related to, suppose for example, religious beliefs, political issues, where we also want to save ourselves that this information which is being provided may not be ours. Okay, so in the same way, electronic sources, suppose TED talks are there, film videos are there, that also need to be mentioned. Okay, so when reviewing the TED Talk video on the TED.com website, then the use of the speaker and the author has to be mentioned. That who has actually told. Suppose your body language may shape you are. Like this is a video. So you have to mention that this is a video and the TED conferences, and you have to mention the website when you have actually, and when it has been published, it will be there itself. Okay, in the same way, if you have seen some TED talk on the YouTube, then also you have to mention that that particular video's reference has to be there, that which you will be finding in the video of the YouTube itself, that what is the short URL. So short URL of the video from which that video can be retrieved has to be mentioned. Okay, so in the same way, some web page, if it is there, has to be mentioned with the basic reference, or you can say web page without that basic reference. Then whatsoever you are referring has to be mentioned, and even if it is not there, then also you have to mention to some extent. So that is all about how to just go for with the referencing and all that. Further, when we are referencing and citation, when we are doing, now we will be doing some hands-on exercise with MS Word and Mendeley. EndNote, Google Scholar, SSR, these all are the things which are there. But today we will be covering some portion of the MS Word and some portion of the Mendeley as such. For that, I think you might have downloaded the Mendeley portion. So I will start with the MS Word first, and then we will be going with the Mendeley in the remaining time period, whatsoever is remaining. Yeah. So particularly for this, I would like to please open your what you call is your MS Word first. Open your MS Word, everyone. Yeah, everyone done? Opening with your MS Word. I hope my screen is being shared. Can you see the blank page on my screen? Raviji?
No sir, अभी तो only screen is showing blue.
अच्छा ओके, वो सॉरी, वो मैंने शेयर का बटन, हाँ अब आ गया होगा शेयर का
Yes
बटन,
sir, yes.
अब आ गया,
Yes sir, yes sir.
Yes,
फाइन,
sir.
या अब
Yes, sir.
yeah, so this is what MS Word is. This is MS Word 2010. If you see over here, this portion reference is there. Okay, I will tell you two things. One is referencing and how to prepare it. So reference is over here. रवि जी एक बार म्यूट कर दीजिएगा सबको प्लीज. Now here, if you have installed Mendeley, this portion will be coming. You can see this portion. If you have installed Mendeley, then only you will be able to see this. If your Mendeley is not installed, then you will be able to see this and other things, right? So here, whenever we are going with the certain things, then we have to, suppose I have to refer certain things up, and before that I have to tell you about certain citation styles. So this is MS Word 2010. That's why this APA 5th edition citation, which is very, very old, is given over here. Okay. So, and these are the various sources with which we can actually make our references. So it totally depends on your agency, which has actually told you to write a research paper, or you can say thesis or whatever. Accordingly, you have to mention it, right? So whenever I have to mention, suppose for example, I have to mention that Facebook is a great source of social media interaction. Okay, now this particular thing, though everyone knows, but I have found it from somewhere. Now I want to mention a certain citation. So what I will do is, I will go in this insert citation portion. Now this is a new source for me. I will just insert it as a new source. Now from where I have got it, those all things which I have mentioned you over here, you will find it over here that it is a book or a book section or a journal article, article in periodical, conference proceeding, report, website, document from the website, electronic source, any art, sound recording, performance, film, interview, patent, case, miscellaneous, means which is not being referred anywhere. You can find it, you can just refer it as a miscellaneous. It means that we were discussing about the referencing in the bibliography. So bibliography may comprise of certain things which you might have indirectly referred, but if you want to mention it over here, it will come in your in-text citation also, if it is so. And if you do not find anything which though is covered in all these sections, then you can just mention this miscellaneous. So let us start with this particular journal article, for example, right? And I have found it in a journal article. Yeah, one more thing is there. Here there's one option where it is given show all bibliographic fields. So if you press this will get enlarged. Okay. Now if you see over here, all those with the asterisk sign have to be mentioned. For example, a corporate author sometimes is a group author. You can say, for example, Times of India. So it's a corporate author, right? So you just press edit. Okay. Are you doing with me, everyone? Please do it with me. Then you will be able to do the complete hands-on. Raviji, please endorse if they are doing.
Yes sir, yeah, they are doing.
Fine. So if you go and edit, suppose for example last, so PAHWA. Now my first name is Manvinder and middle name is, that's it. If there are multiple authors, now I have to add it. If there are multiple authors, then I have to keep on adding certain some other authors also. For example, Chaudhary okay. So this is done. And now if I will press OK, it will go as such over here, right? Now the title is the social media marketing a great tool. For example, this is a title, and journal is International Journal of Social Marketing, and it has published in year 2020 and in month of January. Though it is not necessary because asterisk is not there, because this will be used when you will be going with your references. January and day of publishing, if it is known, then it is there, otherwise it is okay. Page number, for example, 45 to suppose 52. So just write over here along with PP. So that PP will also come in that particular reference when you will be writing it. Now here volume is there. So volumes are normally mentioned in the way it is. So you have to see the journal, how they have mentioned the volume. So some journals mentioned the volume in Romans. So accordingly, it has to be mentioned in Romans, or even you can write over here VOL, volume. And then issue. Issue mostly is referred to as number. Suppose this is number 5. Issue is, suppose, for example, if it is a monthly journal, then you will be having this 5th is the 5th month issue. So you have already mentioned it in January. So accordingly, it has, so I have to mention it number 1 in order to be in line with that particular. So if standard number ISSN number is there, then you have to mention over here the ISSN number, and then you have to press OK. Now see, the automatic reference Pava and Chaudhary 2020 will come over here, right? So in the same way, if I have to refer something else, suppose for example, this is something which I have typed. Then again, in the same way, if I go over there and I mention it, so it will come as such over here. So what happens is that when at the end of the paper, because I have told you that we have to go with the referencing on the fresh new page. So here we need not to bother about the way we have to the way we have referred. What I will do is I will go in bibliography, press this bibliography, and then again in bibliography itself, because one more thing is missing over here, that was used to be references. So I will just mention this bibliography, and it will come over here as such in the style of APA, because this is, I have used the APA 5th style over here. So here, if I have to mention this as some other style, I can just change it from APA to Chicago. It will go in Chicago style. If I have to go with MLA, just now madam was saying that she used to work in MLA. So accordingly, it will be in MLA styling, right? So you just need to press one button over here and your citation will change in the way you want. Okay. And whenever, suppose for example, I have written some other, so this is first citation which I have used over here. Okay. For example, and further I have found out that these days during, or you can say during the lockdown period, the WhatsApp has also emerged as a tool of social marketing. Now I want to mention this, and this I have seen from some, suppose from some newspaper also. So what I will do is, again I will go and insert citation. Again, it is a new source for me. Now this is some newspaper or article in a periodical. Okay, so it is an article in a periodical. I think newspaper is there, or it's not there. So I will just write article in a periodical as such. And author is, suppose for example, again some Ramesh Kumar. Last name is Kumar. First name is Ramesh. I will mention it over here. We'll add up. We'll press OK. And now the title of it is New Emerging marketing tools. Now, periodical is suppose Times of India. Year is 2020. Month is January, and you have to show it complete fields. You will get to see complete fields. Now here, because it's a periodical, the day has become compulsory. Now you have to mention on which date it has mentioned and on which page number. Suppose 3 it is there. Okay. If it is having edition, publisher, yeah, you can write it. Volume is not necessary because it is a news article. So I will press OK. Now what Kumar to 2020 has come. Now again what I have to do is just over here I have to refresh. I have to just put update the citation bibliography. So whenever I will just do it, update the citation and bibliography, this reference will also come over here. So whatever referencing I will keep on doing in my this particular tool, it will keep on coming over there as such. Now, one most important thing over here is that if I want to use the same reference again, so I need not to, go with, suppose for example, Facebook has faced some challenges in the recent past. Now, this I just want to refer. I want to just mention that this was also being referred. So what I will go, I will go in insert citation. I will put the same citation which has said this thing also as such, and it will again appear over here. Okay, so need not to go with means once we have put it, then it will be useful for us in the future also, and again we can use. So normally it doesn't happen because whenever we are mentioning certain things, it has to be at one place, and sometimes when we need to refer it again, then again we have to need not to just go and prepare the complete citation again. Okay, so we can use the same citation over here, and accordingly it will be retrieved, okay, from the same set whatever we have mentioned. So as I have already told you, the style whatever you are using. So suppose we are using MLA. Now if you see, as soon as I have pressed MLA, the years have gone over here. Okay, now this is MLA 6th, so years are not mentioned over here now. Okay, it doesn't comprise of Harvard. Otherwise, Harvard and APA style comprise of both years and the names. So if I'll again press APA style, it will again, the year will come. So whatever styles are there, it is already inbuilt in our word itself. Okay, so this was all about that how we have to refer using the word. Next is using Mendeley. Yeah, any question till now, or any input you want to give? Anyone? Yes. Anything you want to ask? Raviji? Yes, Raviji?
Yes, sir. I have unmuted them.
Okay. चलिए फिर मैं मेंडले बता देता हूँ थोड़ा सा.
Okay, sir.
है ना? चलिए. So next is our that how to use our this Mendeley also. So Mendeley also is one of the very good source that how it now what it provides is that I just want to save my time. Why should I just give all this clerical you can say effort for mentioning each and every source and all that? What if I get a ready source? So here Mendeley provides you this option. So particularly when we have to do is then we have to open this Mendeley and we have to create our library first, or you have to create all the papers first over there in the Mendeley, and then using that we can just mention the citations over here. So I have just now opened this Mendeley desktop, which you have to mention with your you have to or with your own password. I'm signing in with this, and okay, it's already running. No problem. It's already there. So this will open, and if you see over here, you should have this reference manager and citation plugin for MS Word already with you. Okay, or if you are not having this, then you have to go in tools, and then you have to go here. This is web importer is not yet installed over here. There was some problem in the system, that's why I couldn't install it anyways. But this particular, otherwise, if this MS Word plugin is not there, then it will just mention install plugin over here. From there, you can install the plugin for MS Word also. Now here, the thing is that you have to add certain files in the folders, and you can also add certain entry manually too. Okay, so I already have certain folders added over here, or certain files added over here. And this is related, most of these things are related to the power projects, which the paper I was writing. It already comprise of certain, you can say, certain papers are already mentioned over here, right? So when we are writing or when we are citing certain things, what Power Mendeley provides us is that the citation which we have entered are already entered by the people, those who have actually written the paper and have got their paper published in good journals. So they ask, good journals always ask you that how you want to cite your paper, how you want others to cite your paper. So accordingly, they will cite. For example, if while doing this particular project on the power, or you can say, so this is something, energy sector reforms have been of great importance these days. Suppose, for example, I want to cite this. Great importance, right? So what I will do is, I will just open the Mendeley, and suppose, and I have to choose which style. Now here, if you see, the word was not comprising. Here, APA 7th edition is already there. So this is, I will use this style as such, and I will just mention done. Okay, now here, what I have to do is, I have to now enter a citation regarding this. Now we'll go to Mendeley, and suppose, for example, because I have already selected these papers to be in my library. For example, I have seen this particular document. Now abstract is given over here. So reading this abstract, if I could do certain things, or if I could write the abstract, or you can say write the paraphrasing of this abstract in my paper, because I want to write certain things on it on the basis of this, so I can mention it from here. Now if you see over here, all the bibliographic fields are already filled, right? Volume is not there, so volume might not be, this might be the first volume, or they might not have been in the volumes, because those journals which are published once in a year, they will not be having volumes, they will be only having years. So rest all are is already there. So what I will do is, I will select this and will press this button cite. So as soon as I will press this button cite, it will automatically come over. So it's already here now. Now it was very easy. I need not to do anything, or anything else. If I would like to just do over here, for example, let me just see if I want to just go with the citation of, suppose, for example, independent power plants. So here, if I just take some inference out of the private sector investment is a key to achieving this. Now this I want to say. Okay, so private sector investment is key to achieving this. What? The urgent need of more power. So what I can write over here is that the private sector can be approached for, now this is my inference, can be approached for better power solution. And I want to mention this paper as such, which I have just now seen over. right? So what I will do is I have to go from here and will just cite this paper as such. And we'll press this cite, and accordingly the citation will come. Okay, and at the end of the this again, what I have to do is that I have to just insert the bibliography, and the bibliography will be inserted in the format which is mentioned. Now here this comprises of everything. Now DOI of the paper is also there. Now it makes your referencing very easy, right? Now what is the importance of referencing is that now see this again, the indentation is also taken care of, everything is being taken care of. So what I recommend is instead of doing it from Google, instead of doing it from Word, it is better to do it with the help of Mendeley or the other tools. Other tools I have mentioned, EndNote is also there. EndNote is a paid tool. Okay, and there are some premium features of this Mendeley also, you will find some more features. Okay, so this is one of the tool by which which can be used in order to cite and prepare the references in a much more easy way. EndNote has given a one tagline for this: cite while you write. So while you are writing the paper, you can keep on citing it, and in one click itself, you can prepare your entire bibliographic references. Okay. Now, if it is a bibliography, then it is okay. Now this particular thing has not mentioned what it is. So what you can do is you can just mention over here that what it is. You want to mention it as a bibliography or references, you can just write it over here. If it is references, pure references, you can just write pure references just as it is, and this will be the reference, because most of the papers do not comprise of the bibliography. People do not normally refer to what they couldn't cite. That's why mostly it is called reference. Yeah, I hope this makes sense and this is sufficient. Yeah, anything else? Yes, Raviji, that's all from my side for today.
सर इससे ज्यादा क्या होगा सर? Thank you, sir. Thank you. Any participants who wants to ask anything?
I request participants if they have any questions, then.
Yes. Any questions, participants? They can unmute.
Dr. Pawa is not merely applying his mind, but heart along with the mind, the way he was enlightening everything. So it's a good combination of heart and mind both.
Sir, and hand also, sir.
Yes, hand also. So head, heart.
So without hand, some are not possible. So I was using heart, hand, and head.
Yeah.
Heart, hand, and head. Better.
All three H. Yeah?
Absolutely.
If you have any questions, then please ask.
I think everybody is so much clear, sir.
Yeah.
That's why they.
Or any feedback somebody would like to give.
I will be taking that later on. Yeah.
Fine.
Yeah. So friends, now we are very close to the closing part. And during these 7 days, you have got very sumptuous food for thought. And certainly, a lot of learning have taken place on almost all the important aspects of research methodology, and particularly about the research paper writing. And today, Dr. Pawa has concluded this session with citation and referencing. And he has covered almost everything beautifully. So I would request now to the participants about their comments and feedback, not only for the today's session, but for the entire week. What were the good points? What were the strong points? And certainly, Inspira is also interested to know some of these suggestions and some of the topics which we should further cover with the help of Dr. Pawa and some other eminent faculty. So please give your very honest feedback. If there are any shortcomings on our part, then please don't hesitate to tell us also right now. Just 2 or 3 feedbacks. If I, yeah. Yeah, madam, please. Dr. Ravi, please unmute if there is any problem.
Sir, hello, sir.
Yeah.
I'm Neha Tiwari. Lot of webinars I have attended prior to this one, but I must say this webinar has been well thought of, very comprehensive, covered actually every topic where the researchers encountered the problems and they have the doubts. The resource persons which you have selected are amazing. They are the experts of their field, and they have not delivered keeping themselves to a certain level, but they actually came down to the level of the researchers, to the learners, and they have actually empathetically thought that how a particular person who is new to the research or who is doing the research, what are the problems he or she is encountering. So I must congratulate the team Inspira, and my best regards to all the resource persons which you have selected to deliver. I am attending this particular webinar from Dubai, and I made it a point not to miss a single session, though I missed one day. But I listened to the whole recording coming back to the home after it was late in the evening. Say I back home 1 p.m. but till 3 p.m. I sit and just take the insights from that session as well. So looking forward for more sessions. Thank you so much to whole team Inspira for the amazing efforts you have put in. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Nayaji. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
More feedbacks, and if the participants have to comment something about the entire week.
And please start your videos also.
Please start your videos also. Please.
Open up your videos also. At least today is the,
yeah.
today is the valedictory. So yes, any other participants who wants to give feedback?
May I, sir?
Yeah, please. Please.
This is Nibha sir from Delhi. I'm in the phase of writing my thesis, and so I had enrolled for the workshop. And this was wonderful session. I learned a lot, and this is going to help me a lot while writing my research papers. But what I'm looking forward is test portion, parametric test and non-parametric test should be covered in more detail. I think it was less for me. And I think one workshop should be conducted especially for parametric and non-parametric tests. And looking forward for same MOS too in detail for 5 days or 4 days session. Otherwise, I felt that Inspira has done a wonderful job for me, and it is going to be very helpful not for writing thesis but in future too. Thank you, Inspira, and all the resource person were wonderful. I have kept all the numbers and I am going to connect them in future whenever I need. So thank you very much. Thank you.
Sir, you are muted. Mehta sir, you are muted. Please unmute. Yes, sir.
Hello, this is Ram Nimshkavi.
Yeah. Yes,
Hello.
yes, Ramaji.
This is Rama Nimshkavi. Hello.
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir. Good evening.
Hello.
Please proceed.
Yeah, this is Rama Nimshkavi from Hyderabad.
Yeah.
Yes, Ramaji.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening. Please.
Yeah, this is Rama Nimshkavi from Hyderabad.
Okay.
Ramaji, you want to speak something, or good evening? Okay.
Let me tell one thing to ma'am, the previous participant, that we have extensively covered that parametric and non-parametric test in our previous workshops, and on the Inspira channel of YouTube, you will find some of the very good sessions on these tests and the analysis part particularly. So you may see the YouTube channel of that Inspira. You'll find a lot of inputs on research methodology on previous workshops. And certainly,
Oh, thank you, sir. This was my first session.
yeah, I know. That's why I'm saying.
so I was looking for other.
Yes,
I'll go first. Sir. Thank you very much.
Yeah. And certainly in the future, we'll take care of our suggestion and we'll be organizing some of these sessions. But please just see the YouTube channel and particularly the Inspira channel there.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah,
Sir, can you hear me?
Hello, sir. This is Ram Nimshkavi. Hello. Hello.
Yeah, please.
Hello.
Ramaji,
Yeah,
please.
this is Ram Nimshkavi from Hyderabad.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Good evening.
Hello.
You want to say something, sir?
Hello.
Yeah, you want to say something? Yes, Sangeeta ma'am, please.
Yeah, sir, can you hear me, Raviji? Good evening.
Yes, we can hear you, ma'am, please.
Yeah. First of all, thank you so much, sir, because I used to return from my college by 5:30, but I could attend. So, especially your team was so modest, virtuous, and so soft-spoken. Anil Mehta ji, sir, Ravi ji, you are so nice. Then SS Modi ji, and one thing I want to thank you all, and one thing, sir, because Manvinder Singh ji's PPT, we would require that because it would be very helpful to us.
Yeah.
That is my request, earnest request.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dr. Pawa, you are requested kindly to send us the PDF file of your PPT so that we can forward.
Yeah. That would serve us, all the research scholars.
Yeah, but Sangeeta ji will definitely share this entire PPT with all of you. It's a promise.
Thank you so
And,
much.
you can just collect it from our Ravi Modi ji,
Okay.
Inspira
Ravi
itself,
ji,
and they will.
Ravi ji will give us, we trust him.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So, or if you want it, I can just send it now, sir. Is there any more to send it now?
Yeah, sir. Kindly do that on Inspira.
Yeah, to Inspira, I will give, and they will further send it to you. That I think will be a better one.
Please.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. We expect more such webinars from your side. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you.
Yes, Mehta sir.
So, friends, it was indeed a wonderful previous week in which we got a lot of inputs from eminent experts and resource persons who are quite experienced. And I'm very happy that all the participants have taken keen interest in all the sessions. And even at this time, participants are still logging in large number. That clearly shows the success of this workshop. It is really an overwhelming response on the part of participants. So first of all, I would like to thank each and every participant from the bottom of my heart for their overwhelming response and particularly taking keen interest in every session. Thank you very much. I am highly thankful to all the resource persons of this workshop, right from Professor Rana Singh, Dr. Brajesh Awasthi, then Dhaval Mehta, Hitesh Parmar, then Dr. Manvinder Singh Pahwa, my young friend with whom I have conducted some innovative workshop on research methodology. And besides that, Professor Maladri, who has taken 2 very useful sessions. So the success goes to not only participants but our valued resource persons also. So I am thankful to all resource persons. I am thankful to all the participants of this workshop. And besides that, I am really thankful to our Inspira team who has really worked, and very, very special thanks to Dr. Ravi Modi. In fact, he is the pillar for the Inspira. Without him, we couldn't have done anything. So thank you, Dr. Ravi. In fact, Inspira is doing wonderful job since last 1 year, and really this pandemic crisis has turned into opportunity, particularly for the research scholars since last 1 year by organizing so many workshops. My personal request to all participants, and particularly to those who have not joined Inspira, there is some incentives and life membership is available with a very attractive package, a 40 to 50% discount till 31st of this month. And you will be getting all the information about the membership, about the activities, and about the journals and other publications which are being brought out by the Inspira. So go through them, join the life membership so that you'll be getting all the circulars, all the information from the Inspira. And also I'm requesting all the participants to contribute their research papers in Inspira journals. Inspira is regularly bringing out two important journals at the national level and two journals at the international level. So I think Inspira is providing a very good platform for the publications of quality research papers. Of course, there is only one condition, that Inspira never compromises with the quality, be it the virtual seminars and workshop or the journal. So please do write the quality papers, and I'm quite sure that after attending all these workshops, you will be able to write good papers. So join life membership and also contribute to our papers. And I'm quite sure that there will be visible change as far as the academic contribution is concerned. For at least this batch, I am expecting that in at least in next 1 or 2 months, please do write research papers, and whatever you have learned, you should be able to apply all your knowledge, all your learnings in these papers. So once again, thank you. And particularly, I'm thankful to our today's learned speaker, Professor Manvinder Singh Pawa, who is an authority, and in fact, in the state of Rajasthan, today I rate him #1 as an eminent expert in the field of research methodology. I am really grateful to Professor Pawa, though he is my young friend, but formally, I extend my hearty vote of thanks to Professor Pawa for today's workshop. And
thank you, sir.
Part, last but not least, we all are grateful to the President of Inspira Research Association, Professor S.S. Modi, under whose patronage this organization is doing wonderful work. Thank you, Professor S.S. Modi. And now, over to Professor S.S. Modi for a few words. Dr. Modi, please.
Good evening, everyone. On the occasion of the last day of this 7 days workshop, I am thankful to all the participants from all over the country and abroad also, whose overwhelming response and positive comments keep us motivated always for conducting such academic activities frequently. I am also grateful to all the resource persons of 7 days. Professor Dr. Manvinder Singh Pawa, today's resource person, great authority in research methodology field. Professor Dr. Rana Singh, Professor Dr. P. Malyadri, Professor Dr. Brajesh Avasti, Dr. Hitesh Parmar, Dr. Dhaval Mehta. I'm also thankful to Professor Dr. Anil Mehta, Senior Vice President, Inspira Research Association, IRA, for actively support regularly in the academic activities of IRA. Being motivated from the grand success of the 7 days workshop on art of writing research papers and thesis, Inspira Research Association has finalized to organize a 3 days international multidisciplinary conference on future trends in commerce, economics, management, education, tourism, social sciences, applied sciences, technology, and performing arts. In collaboration with Rajasthan Sangeet Sansthan, Jaipur, a government PG College of Music, Government of Rajasthan, from 17th February to 19th February 2021. This international conference would be online on Zoom for first 2 days, that is on 17th February and 18th February from 5 p.m., in which on each day 3 keynote speakers will address on the theme, and participants would present their papers online on Zoom. On the third day, that is on February 19, 21, from 3 p.m., valedictory ceremony would be organized at Rajasthan Sangeet Sansthan, Shiksha Sankul JLN Marg, Jaipur, which is followed by cultural evening with high tea, which will also be on online Zoom as well as offline. In cultural evening, there will be cultural performance by most renowned international folk dancer Padma Shri Gulabo and her group for about 40 minutes. So that will be the special attraction for that day. Gracious presence of Padma Bhushan Pandit Vishwa Mohan Bhatt and other dignitaries as Higher Education Minister Rajasthan Sri Bhatiji, Technical Education Minister Rajasthan Dr. Subhash Garg Sahab, Principal Administrative Secretary Higher and Technical Education Dr. Shuchi Sharma, etc. Special attractions for the forthcoming international conference are: participants will be given 2 choices for registration. Category 1, only participation and paper presentation in the conference on Zoom. Category 2, participation and paper presentation in conference on Zoom with online paper publication in Inspira's peer-reviewed refereed international journals. So 2 options for registration will be given for registration purposes. Next attraction is, in this forthcoming international conference, since third day valedictory ceremony is on Zoom as well as offline at Shiksha Sankul, Jaipur, certificates of paper presentation, best paper presentation awards, 6, 3 for each day, Inspira IRA 2020 awards, 5. From this conference, we will honor to 5 participants as Inspira IRA 2020 awards, and it is for no additional fees. All participants are eligible for nomination for these awards, and these awards will be given only out of participants registered for this conference. And all certificates, paper presentation certificate, best paper presentation award certificate, and 5 IRA awards certificates will be given in hard copy. Those who were not present on third day due to any reason, all such certificates will be posted to them at their postal address with PIN code by registered post. And Next, only participants registered for this conference would be entitled for free nomination to get these awards on the basis of their academic work achievements, which they gained up to 31st December 2020. They have to send their resume, their achievements, academic work on in soft copy or in hard copy as they wish on our mail ID or any other mode. 5 awards. Which 5 awards will be given? First, Inspira IRA Young Researcher Award 2020. Second, Inspira IRA Academic Excellence Award 2020. Third, Inspira IRA Best Women Researcher Award 2020. Next, fourth, Inspira IRA Best Scholar Award 2020. And fifth, Inspira IRA Best Women Scholar Award 2020. So these 5 awards will be given out of participants only, out of participants registered for this conference only. All registered participants are also welcome to join valedictory and cultural evening offline also at Shiksha Sankul JLN Marg Jaipur on 19 February 2021 from 3 p.m. if possible by them. If it is possible to attend physically, they are welcome from 3 p.m. in valedictory as well as in cultural evening followed by high tea. I hope you have enriched a lot in this 7 days workshop from 18 January to 24 January. I fully ensure you the same for our forthcoming 3 days International Multidisciplinary Conference from 17 February to 19 February, which would be fully online on Zoom for first 2 days and on third day online as well as offline at Shiksha Sankul, JLN Marg, Jaipur. All the best for everybody. Thanks. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir. Mehta sir, thank you so much. Manvendra sir, thank you once again. And the participants.
Thank you very much to everyone.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I just want
Thank
to.
you, Raviji, and special thanks to Modi sir. Sir, pranam. आपके आशीर्वाद से ये सर जो है, बाकी तो अथॉरिटी तो आप हो सर, हम तो क्या है, कुछ भी नहीं है सर.
अरे कैसे नहीं साहब, सब आप
मेहता
लोगों
सर only.
ये सब चल रहा है.
Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Thank you so much, sir. And the participants, I am going to send a feedback link on the WhatsApp group just after this ending of this workshop. And this is, please, I request you to
Dr. Ravi, did you click the photograph of this of the group photograph of all the participants?
Yeah. Please open up your videos. Actually, some participants, Usha ma'am, Anita Vyas ma'am, Lata Agarwal ma'am, Nibha
So
Singh.
that we can have.
Yeah, Raviji, immediately I have sent the file also. That PDF
Yeah.
file is on your WhatsApp.
Yes,
So
sir,
to your convenience, you can send it.
Yes, sir.
That's great. That's great.
So participants, please submit the feedback form mandatory to receive the e-certificate of this workshop, because this is mandatory to submit the feedback link. I will send immediately in the WhatsApp group. And I think everything was said by our president, Professor S.S. Modi sir. So we will send the brochure, a new flyer of our conference tomorrow evening to all of you, so that you can go through the brochure and you can register accordingly if you want. So
And Dr. Ravi, please
all the
send
participants.
this photograph of the last session to all the participants on the group.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sure, sir. Sure. And thank you so much. On behalf of Inspira Research Association, I would like to thank all the participants who participated in this workshop, all the life members of the Inspira Research Association, all my friends, all my colleagues, and everybody. So, and if you have any query, you can ask me anytime, you can message me.
Did you click
Thank
the
you so
photograph?
much. And within a week, we will provide you the certificate of this workshop on your mail ID.
Did you click the photograph, Raviji?
Yes, sir, I have clicked. No problem.
Because it will come in the slots. So take all the slots. You know?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes.
So I wish all these
Thank you.
all
Yes.
the participants and their bright future. Thank you. Thank you
Thank
very
you
much.
so much, Sangeeta ma'am. Thank you. Thank you so much. Everybody, Pragya ji hai, Dr. Manisha Sharma, and Dr. Neha Tiwari ji, Dr. Ashok Kumar, Neelam ji, I can see Vaishali ji. Thanks to everyone. Okay. Thank you so much, Sunita ji, Nilufar ji, Kapil ji, Khushbu ji. Thank you so much. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Manvinder ji.